That's one of the best podcasts ever. Ever. Top 5 dead or alive.
Caviar. I'm your host, Tony, in the Ministry of Silly Talks with Graham in the building as usual. How are you, sir?
Hello, folks.
We took a day off from podcasting yesterday, and now the show must go on.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, this is a Monday afternoon podcast, which is banging.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
Yeah, we are.
We had a good little warm-up there before this one.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey. You know, these things happen.
Keeps happening, though. I keep not hitting record, or I'm hitting record and it's not registering the click because I clicked it.
Yeah, you did click it.
I clicked
and I remember passively seeing you click it, so I guess it's not really on you per se. It's just something that we missed, and you know, shit.
Well, I'd say bring us back in, sir. Don't forget to subscribe to things. And tell us what's going on over there at CaviarCom.
Be sure to subscribe to Pod Caviar and the 1 Gram Army podcast. We are 2 planets in the same galaxy, and we complement each other very well. If you subscribe to one and not the other, then you have, I don't know, it's like walking around with a clubbed foot almost. You need to,
like Wayne head.
Yeah, it's like you're off balance. You need both podcasts in your life. So click subscribe on Pod Caviar, click subscribe on the 1 Gram Army, and vice versa, and then everything will be fine.
Yeah, you get a little chaos, you get a little structure, you get a little this, a little of that.
And you get laughs on both sides.
Definitely.
And we make podcasts, and I'm glad we don't have like these super long podcasts, because we have like podcasts that were made for commuters and like people that are at the gym, and that you can get an episode in and you get a complete episode and you don't have to worry about
you don't have to dedicate 3.5 hours of your life to it.
And you don't have to get out of your car and then pick back up wherever you left off and all that. It's great content.
Yep, you get it on your way. You can listen to one on the way to work and one on the way home from work. One while you're at the gym, one while you're making dinner.
Yeah,
it's out there. You know how to listen to a podcast.
Yeah, you got it. You know how to do it. And so just click subscribe. There you go.
Subscribe to them shits.
Yeah. Yep. Also,
that goes for cocksuckers and retards.
Yes.
I don't mean to hijack your podcast with that soundbite though, because that soundbite could possibly be seen as being a bit controversial, but it's from one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest performances by a guy who is a genuine sweetheart.
Right.
Like Dwight Yoakam is not that guy.
Right.
Just turned out
a great fucking performance.
Yeah. Just turned out of nowhere that dude is a phenomenal actor.
Right.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out shirtcaviar.com. I've recently added some ugly sweatshirts, not sweaters, sweatshirts.
Oh, yeah.
And they do the all-over print sublimation, I think that's what it's called. And I have sweatshirts, hoodies, long sleeve shirts. Of course, we have the regular shirt, Caviar short sleeve shirts, and I took some suggestions from people that I know, and they wanted more long sleeve stuff. So there you have it. We got sweaters, hoodies, long sleeve shirts, all on shirtcaviar.com. Click the seasonal shirts, or find them on the home page. I just added one today called Thunder. It's pretty cool. It's an all over print. I have Everybody's Nobody, which is a very beautiful hoodie that I designed. It's got a nice dark green leaf background with big white lettering.
Oh, yeah.
And the pocket and the hood is white, so that's a nice contrast to the dark green. And the quality is amazing. And if you have a problem, just let us know, and then we'll work on it ourselves, and then we can get another shirt to you, another whatever. It's nothing.
These podcasts, theshirtcaviar.com, all very interactive.
Yeah, very interactive. If you
got a problem, you want to weigh in, get in there.
Yeah, just let us know. I mean, we're not at the point now to where we just ignore people that aren't in our social circle.
Yeah. Oh,
we're getting
that's
there.
Gonna be a glorious
when
day.
we fucking get there. Oh, my God, bro.
But I can start ignoring people.
Dude,
it's going to be delicious.
Dude, come on. I mean, and we're not dicks when we do it. Graham and I have earned the right.
Yeah.
As much shit that we've gone through, when we get to that level and we start acting funny, we earn the right to. So,
prepare for it.
Oh, yeah. Just get ready for it. I mean,
we're going to start acting real funny.
Real funny.
Brand new.
Yeah. But today, we have a great episode on the way. We are going to continue the season 5 theme of movies, and we're going to talk about Taxi Driver and how that may or may not tie into the incel movement or real life events in general. And so we got Taxi Driver. Movie, what is that, 75? When did it come out?
1976 is when the movie came out, but the plot is in 75.
Yeah, we got Travis Bickle, played by Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
He's a lonely, depressed 26-year-old living in isolation in New York City. Travis takes a job as a night shift taxi driver to cope with his chronic insomnia, driving passengers around the city's boroughs.
And it cures him of his insomnia, and he becomes a productive member of society, and they roll the credits.
Yeah, actually.
Great film.
A little known tip here is that for years, it was actually used as the orientation video for new taxi drivers in New York City.
Oh, that makes sense, though, because you would want them.
Yeah.
This could be the guy. I mean, not spoiler alert, but the guy becomes just a model citizen.
Model citizen, right?
Great taxi driver.
Yeah.
Really takes a lot of pride in his work.
He was kind of like down in the doldrums in the beginning. He was depressed. He was insomniac. He started earning a living and driving people around and giving back to society, and that was it. He was happy and he lived a great life, and that was it. The credits rolled.
End of movie,
and that's it. And that's the end of the podcast. So, thanks for listening to Pod Caviar.
Good night,
make sure
everyone.
you subscribe.
Bye.
Peace. Nah, that's not the whole movie.
Not how it
that's
went down
definitely
at all.
not. That sounded good.
Yeah,
but
he does frequent. I forgot about this part about how he frequents porn theaters.
Yeah, because he took the girl there.
Yeah,
and she was like, "I'm not with this shit."
No, he was like, "Hey, can I take you to the movies?"
yeah, and then there was that movie.
Bit of a blind side.
Yeah, when that happened, I was like, you know what, dude? I'm like, Trav, just let her walk out, because listen, you deserve a girl that is gonna go to the porn theater with you.
Born with you.
Yeah, you don't have to. What is it? You ain't got to whip your titties out.
Yeah,
but you're just there,
rubbing elbows with the likes of Pee Wee Herman.
Oof,
and
that was such a weird thing.
I hate making jokes about that though, because he got railroaded so badly for that.
He did.
And Paul Rubin was making so many people happy at that point in his career, and I just think most people could not have possibly given less of a shit.
Yeah.
That he wanted to go see porn.
No.
I mean, think about Pee Wee's legacy. If this happened, it would not be a thing.
No. But see, at the same time, people need to understand that these famous people that we put up on pedestals, they're into some freaky shit.
Oh, yeah.
And they have every right to be.
Yeah.
Because that's their personal lives. We get to see the public them, but their personal is on them. So if he wants to go see a porno in a movie theater, jack off a little bit, cool.
Yeah.
Some people are like, well, he makes so much money, he could do it at home. But okay, cool. If you got a chance to fuck in the woods and not get caught, you'd probably fuck in the woods.
Especially if you
just once.
Especially if you were someone like Pee Wee.
Yeah.
You know, just on a wild ride.
Yeah, bruh. Come on. I mean, shit. It's the excitement that goes along with actually viewing titties on screen, but it does go to show
this guy,
that
Travis Bickle, knew all about that.
Yeah, exactly, and he was kind of like he was into that and the sexual frustration that went along with a lifestyle like that, because he lived in like a shitty apartment, and it was just him. It was by himself, and yes, he did have the insomnia, and it was you looking at me, who you looking at me with the
mirror
gun
talking
and
to
shit.
himself.
And he was really isolated, and he became detached from reality. He became interested in a girl. He took her to that theater. It fell apart. He had a tough time breaking away from her, and then he ended up getting involved in she was like a young hooker, right?
Yeah, and then, very young Jodie Foster plays a 15-year-old prostitute.
Right, and in the end of the movie, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it by now, then
it came out in 1975.
Like, what the fuck are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the clip right there?
Yeah, you want me to go ahead and play it? I was just
hold on.
pulling it
Yeah,
up.
well, at the end, he ends up going to go save the girl, quote unquote, or whatever, and then he ends up getting shot up a bunch of times. He ended up becoming an anti-hero, so to speak. But I mean, it goes to show just how crazy that movie was, and the idea of that movie is really what ties into a certain demographic of reality and public and a certain group of guys who are similar to Travis Bickle. But let's go ahead and play this clip. Yeah, let's play this clip and then
probably one of the most iconic scenes in film history. People who have never seen the movie know this particular bit where he's standing in the mirror and he's strapping himself up with guns.
He got a bunch of guns. He's ready for war.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to cut this clip off, but we'd mentioned it before when we weren't recording. But like, this movie is a sort of, it's one of those, it's more than a day, but it's sort of one of those day in the life movies that shocked audiences because it's not a celebration of this person.
No, it's not.
It's just an examination and sort of a reminder to people that these people exist.
Yeah,
and
that's
are
true.
all over the place.
Yeah.
He's just checking himself out in the mirror to make sure you can't see his guns.
Yeah.
God, look how young Robert De Niro is.
Huh? Faster than you.
Yep.
Saw you coming.
And he's like pointing the gun in the mirror, talking to himself.
I'm standing here.
Rehearsing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You make the move. It's your move. I'll try it, you.
I love it.
Yeah. Great individual performance, too.
Yeah.
One part of Robert De Niro.
You talking to me?
There it is.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking? Talking to me?
This is fucking great.
Well, I'm the only one here.
Right.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Oh, yeah? Huh? Okay. Huh?
And he's staring
Listen,
at that
you
poster.
fuckers, you screwheads.
Yeah.
Here is a man who would not take it anymore. Who would not let... Listen, you fuckers, you screwheads. Here is a man who would not take it anymore. A man who stood up against the scum, the cunts, the dogs, the filth, the shit. Here is someone who stood up.
Yeah, see, and I mean, I think you could see how certain damaged individuals would look at that as if that's like, oh, yeah, that's how I feel. But this is clearly an example of how not to be.
How not to be.
Yeah. Don't
You
be
can see
Travis
The guy
Bickle.
got into his bed with his boots on. He didn't take his shoes off.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
his
how.
pillow is a rolled up sleeping bag.
Right, yeah. And when you get to that point in your life, I mean, golly. The last time I was in that situation, I was in the military and we were deployed. So that's just the environment that you're in. But
even then, I would have picked different materials to use as a pillow.
Right, yeah.
Other than a rolled up sleeping bag.
Yeah,
The
I wouldn't have done
ergonomics of that
It's
seems like something
weird.
only a crazy person would be willing to accept.
Yeah. So in my thought process, when I recently saw the movie again, is like, you know what? A lot of incels have passively or even aggressively referenced that movie.
Yeah.
And they want to be the next Travis Bickle, but it never... It's not the same thing because, like you said, that's a movie and it's an example of how not to be. And these guys that complain about some of the same stuff that Travis Bickle went through, it's like you can't solve your problems in reality the way that a man in a movie that's fictional solved his problems. Like that movie was what, 2 hours maybe?
Yeah, it's a 2 hour long movie.
Yeah, it's a 2 hour long movie. So in the span of 2 hours, he has a whole movie time is so compressed and it's so weird because it's compressed and it's accelerated. In reality, you're not going to be able to do that.
No, you're not going to solve your problems.
Especially not most of those guys because those guys are fucking out there. And they're so far out there that if Travis Bickle was a real person, let's say Taxi Driver was a documentary, Travis Bickle would see those guys and be like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
they would be on his list of the scum.
Yeah.
For
right.
sure.
Like and I don't like we had discussion just now about how music was kind of the same way.
Yeah.
And how it was blamed for a lot of stuff that happened, especially in the inner city when NWA came out. You got Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and all those. And we talked about how they took the steamroller and rolled over the CDs. And then
the Reverend Calvin Butts. Yeah, I mentioned that, it was good that he did that because after that, everything was fine.
Yeah, that solved everything.
Stopping those people from talking about those things solved all the problems.
Yeah, all the different gangs disbanded. Everybody went enrolled in college, and then everything was just amazing. I said that as soon as the steamroller got finished doing that, as soon as they cut it off, all the ghettos in America turned into Wakanda.
Yep.
So that's it.
It was great work on their part.
Yeah.
Really stabbing at the root causes of these issues, not the benign symptoms of them.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can have these types of movies like Taxi Driver, and you have a more recent movie with Joaquin Phoenix in it, and I know he's one of your favorite actors. The movie
I am
Her.
going to see it.
Have you seen the movie Her?
No.
Okay, it's a guy.
I thought you were going to talk about the Joker.
No. Yeah, we can talk about that too. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come out on.
I'm
gonna
waiting
buy
to see it at the house.
Yeah. But in Her, he was a lonely guy, and he had a virtual companion, sort of like Siri, but not as shitty
I remember
as Siri.
the previews for that. Yeah, where it was like an artificially intelligent voice in his phone,
it was a
basically.
Weird movie, and I watched it from beginning to end because everybody was raving about it. Like, oh my god, it's such a great movie. I watched it, and then when it got to the end, I was like, huh? I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's so because
I think it came on kind of the heels of Ex Machina too.
Yeah. Those movies came out. Yeah, and that time frame right there, but that shit was like real cool. Yeah,
dystopian, near future robots and AI thing.
Right. There was a good video essay on YouTube, and everybody does video essays now.
Yeah.
But they showed how detached he was from reality. If you're not into old movies that show violence and are gritty and how New York used to be, then watch Her. Travis Bickle and Joaquin Phoenix, his character from Her, they're kind of the similar path as far as being detached from reality and not understanding or not knowing how to interact with women. Essentially, I mean, that's just what it was. It's
so
a common theme.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a common theme. These incels, they see that and they're like, well, it's Travis Bickle and that these other guys, if they can do that, then I can do it too.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Don't do that.
No, you can't, because if we all, the majority of us, can do the things that we see people doing in movies, then we would do it.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Why? I mean, I don't get it. Like, name a movie. I would be Keanu Reeves in The Matrix.
Of course. Yeah, who wouldn't want to be?
Yeah.
But see, that's the other thing too, though. That's kind of the difference between a proper film like this and something is like where the storyline is as basic as like Star Wars or The Matrix, where it's like good guys, bad guys, and they fight each other.
Right.
Like Travis Bickle, the entirety of Taxi Driver is one of these movies where they just kind of turn a mirror on the audience and they're like, here's the society that's going on around and behind you, and not championing Travis Bickle for being the way he is, just simply saying, here's this guy and this is how he is.
Yeah, it was just like, here's
not
a
a
look
role
into
model.
his life. Yeah, it was never something that came out. I mean, the ending was weird because of the way they framed that article that came out at the end after he went through and, he did that thing at the end when he went and tried to save Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster's character,
Yeah, but I don't. It's weird, but I kind of understand it. It's kind of like how I was when I was a kid, and when I used to see movies. Of course, we talked about how Top Gun led to me joining the Air Force.
Even though it was the Navy.
Yeah,
we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
It's one of our earliest conversations in knowing each other.
Yeah.
Being like, I saw Top Gun, and then I found out it was the Navy.
Yeah, I found out it was
here
the Navy
I am
after I signed up, and I was like, it made perfect sense to me until I was an adult.
Yeah.
That's how much I bought into that movie. So
that's some good shit.
I was like, well,
though,
the Navy
man.
got planes and the Air Force got planes. The Navy got boats and the Air Force got planes.
Right.
So the Air Force will land their planes on the Navy boats because they're both for America and it's one team, one fight.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, those are Navy planes. And I was like, why would the Navy need a plane?
When in reality, it's hard as fuck to get guys who are in two offices next to each other in the government to agree on something, or work together.
Yeah. But yeah, movies will influence people. but it's
not
so
the
weird
fault of the film.
Yeah, it's not the fault of the film. That's more like the person in itself. And like I said, when I was a kid, yeah, I bought into that whole Top Gun, Air Force, Navy conglomerate of cooperation right there.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out to be that in reality, but people will see movies like Taxi Driver or Her and these other movies, especially the just go back to the Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Where it's always a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
I always like the ones where the girl is like, I'm leaving tomorrow to start a new life. And the guy has to run down the terminal at the end.
Oh, that was a big thing. Running into the airport was a big thing.
God.
TV, movies. Yeah.
You know who killed that? The 9/11 killed that.
Yep,
The
9/11.
fucking terrorists killed that
Terrorists
shit.
destroyed that hacky
Yeah.
plot premise,
Right,
and the
and-
Hare Krishnas, because I haven't
Dude,
seen
yeah.
Hare Krishna since after 9/11.
Fuck
And
no.
hanging out at the airport was what they used to do.
That was their shit
That was
right
their
there.
deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I guess the moral of anything is that, look, these are entertainment. Yeah, there's certain things that you can do in a movie that you can that happen in movies that you
Yeah.
can do in real life, but there's never something that, and we have so many examples of things. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about movies, whether you're talking about job descriptions. Like when I signed up for the Air Force, they told me I was an aerospace propulsion apprentice, and I was like, "This sounds amazing."
Oh yeah.
It was not amazing.
No,
No,
you're
because
an
I was
engine
working
mechanic.
on engine mechanic,
Yeah.
aircraft engines from the 60s.
Oh yeah.
It's bad as it sounds.
That's some reverse engineered alien technology right there.
Right.
Fucking yeah, I've mentioned it
Right.
before about the first time I went onto the flight deck of a KC-135, which is like this badass in-air refueling airplane. I walked in there, I was like, this looks like a bus.
Yeah.
Looks like an old Greyhound in here.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like you see things, but they're not always. It's the step that they're missing is understanding that, oh, shit, that wasn't exactly what I thought it was. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to pull a lesson from it and then better yourself.
Yeah, it's not the responsibility of filmmakers to just be like, well, what if someone crazy sees this? Well,
Yeah,
what if someone
well,
crazy doesn't see
Yeah,
it? They're
what if they
still going to
don't?
do something
Yeah,
crazy.
they're still going to be crazy.
They'll
I mean,
latch
come
onto
on.
something else.
Yeah, because it's not like we're not being forced to watch these movies. We're not being forced. We're not like that. We're not damn Ted Kaczynski where
Right.
they came in and made him go through all those experiments and shit that really warped his mind and made him into the Unabomber. But it's a movie. It's
Yeah.
a show. It's a thought. It's a not a thought. They want thoughts. They're afterthoughts. The incels need thoughts.
It's a thought.
It's a thought.
Yeah.
You know, it's a thought. You take what you want. And I'm cool with somebody looking at a Indiana Jones and being like, you know what? I kind of want to be like that guy,
Right.
without emulating every single move of that. I never.
But I think once you were in a gunfight with Nazis, you'd be like, I didn't want to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah, when you get to that point, you're like, hey, how did I get here? And
Yeah.
B, I don't want to be here.
Why am I being held hostage by these Nazis
Right.
inside of this tank?
Yeah.
I've made some missteps.
Yeah, a whole
Been a
lot
few
of missteps.
miscalculations here.
Yeah, I never really got that. The people that go so far as to get plastic surgery to look like these people that don't exist, these fictional characters. They got that guy that wants to look like a Ken doll. It's like the mind in itself is so complex and so weird. I just had to take time to tie this into Pod Caviar so we can have a discussion about it and just put our thoughts out there, because it is a direct connection between these movies and then the things that are that were made to be seen in the movies but
Yeah.
not followed,
Right.
and they're being followed, and it's
don't-
so weird.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. You know, you blame the person that's acting on those impulses.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
And like I
right.
said, if it wasn't this, it'd be a book. And then what do you
it's
do?
it's
Just
always
outlaw
something. Yeah.
all art.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Yeah.
expose.
What is this, like Fahrenheit 451 or
Yeah,
whatever it's
like,
called? Yeah, like
concerned about exposing people to certain things. It's a slippery slope. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
it's weird. What was the name of that movie that was like Matrix? They said that Matrix. It had Christian Bale in it.
Yeah, what was that movie called?
What was the name of that movie?
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna have to look
It
that
wasn't
one
a
up.
bad movie. It had some cheesy effects in it, but when the
Yeah.
Matrix came out, it was like, that was the end of that shit. But that movie came out, Equilibrium. Yeah, that movie came out before the Matrix, I think.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like 1984 Fahrenheit 451. Or
Yeah,
one of those.
yeah,
It
yeah.
did come out. No, because this said 2002. I think
It's
The Matrix
2002?
came out in 1998.
Oh shit, was it?
I think so. I was pretty sure I was in middle school when The Matrix came out. 1999.
Oh shit.
So Equilibrium didn't come out until 2002.
Oh
yeah.
Damn. See, I remember back then everybody was like, "Well, The Matrix copied off of Equilibrium," and I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
So even back then, I was like, "All right, but The
they
Matrix
did better.
is banging."
Yeah. They did, if that was true, they did way better with
they
it.
did a whole lot better than that shit. But man, it's all about movies. It's just the general theme of this whole season is how much movies really influence us in reality, whether it's sales, Home Alone. Remember Home Alone where you had that thing, that handheld recorder that slowed the shit down?
Oh, yeah. Merchandise from films is ridiculous.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
And people go ape shit over those things. When they came out, I had one and it was banging.
Yeah, those things were dope as hell.
But it would never work like it did in the movies. Like that's something that I didn't. As a kid, I was like, well, if I get that in real life, it's gonna work just like that, and I'll be able to do the thing,
right?
Do something, and slow it down.
Yeah, but you're hamstrung by it just being a tape recorder.
Yeah,
that can play backwards and forwards.
And then you have to record so many things and then know exactly because it's a tape.
Yep.
So you have to know
physical medium.
Yeah,
you can't just call it up
where they like fast forward and rewind. Yeah. So it's like
it's not like on the soundboard.
We don't need to fucking practice, Randy.
Yeah. And now just imagine having that and be like, okay, so when do you want to check in? And then you got to fucking
exactly
tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's like what? Like okay, sir. Art imitates reality. Reality imitates art. It's back and forth, and it will never end. It will never end.
Nope.
The main thing is
that's why art's important.
Listen, love
it's
your
entertainment.
movies.
It just makes your day. It's something to do with your time.
Yeah, bro. Like do it. Do all. And I'm all for going to like Comic-Con and like dressing up and shit and like doing your thing and like doing your Harry Potter thing with the fucking wand.
Just don't run people over with your car.
Yeah, just don't do shit that you see in the movie. Don't be violent. Okay, if that girl doesn't want to talk to you, fuck it. It's 7 billion people in the world. Yes, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, we've all been through it. Okay, cool. It didn't work out. Blah blah blah. Go through your little period.
It's probably your fault.
Yeah,
probably need to make some adjustments.
Oh yeah. There's plenty of times where something didn't work out between a girl and I, and it's been my fault. It's been a lot of times where it's been her fault. There's been a lot of times where it just didn't fucking work. Okay, cool. Be sad. Move on. 7 billion people in the world. You don't have to go on a shooting rampage. You don't have to be like making a fucking what is that shit called where the terrorists write their shit?
Yeah, manifesto.
Manifesto.
Yeah.
I was gonna say manuscript, but
similar.
manifesto. Yeah. You don't have to do that. You know, if you got something that you want to say, start a podcast.
There you go. There you go. You can say
put
whatever
your money
you
where
want.
your mouth is. I mean, come on, dude. And then it's so many people. I was telling my son this the other day. It's like, look, he said he wants to start a podcast. I'm like, cool. All right. So, what are you gonna name it? What are you gonna talk about? What is your equipment?
Yep.
Do you have good sounds? Do you have good headphones, a microphone? Do you have a good computer?
Yeah.
And then he's working towards that. I got to get him a new laptop. But it's podcasting for me is one of the greatest things because I'm one of those people that always talk shit.
Oh yeah.
I told Nicole this the other day. I'm like, look, I'm not bitter. I'm not mad. Sometimes I just talk shit because that's just how I get shit off my chest. I don't know.
Yeah.
You want me to keep it in?
Sometimes it's just fun.
Yeah. And I was like, look at the Bill Burr special on Netflix, and it's not too dissimilar than how I am. I mean, you know, we're older guys. You know,
exactly.
You're the same way. You and I are the same way. We're older guys, so we're at that point in our lives to where we got shit that's in that we want to speak on, but it's not important enough for us to really like.
Yeah. I think that's the point of the podcast too, though, is when you're podcasting, you're just going to have a little conversation about what's going on and see where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tremendously self-indulgent, but I'm not against that either.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, shit, to be honest, I mean, if you love yourself as much as I love myself, then everybody should have a podcast and everybody should talk about something. Having a podcast isn't the hard thing. That's easy in 2019. Yeah. Like 7 years ago when I thought of starting a podcast, the technology wasn't really there to where I wanted it to be. But now it's a lot better. So start a podcast.
Better late than never. Consistency is number one.
Consistency. Continuing that's what I wanted to say. Continuing to do it. Take a week off here and there.
If you want to do like me and Tony do, you got to find another proper psycho who's willing to set their time aside every week to make sure that you're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because nothing is when the the hardest part about doing a podcast is doing a podcast. It is super easy to not do one.
Yeah, it is
so easy.
So easy to not do it.
Not
but
doing a
then
podcast
it's
is
like,
simple.
It's the same thing with going to the gym.
Yep.
I mean, it is the same thing. January is next month, so you know the gyms are going to be packed.
Slam.
But who's gonna go from January to January? Not many people. Who's gonna sign up for memberships in January and then pay from January to January, but never
not go right after February?
Yeah. That's how gyms stay in business. If you didn't know
part
that.
of the reason why I would like for everyone to start a podcast so that you can see that you ain't got it in you.
Yeah.
You know, like
Just
you don't
do
have it in
do
you.
It. Yeah.
You're not gonna stick with it.
Anytime somebody says, "Go, I'm gonna start a podcast," all right, go ahead. I'll check it out. Do it. Yeah, because you might have one great episode.
Yeah.
Can you stretch it out for a whole year?
Yeah. Can you do an episode a week for a month?
Yeah.
Can you do it for 3 months?
Yeah.
Can you do it for 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you keep going?
Are you willing? Are you willing to like put out half-ass content while you're learning how to do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's part of it.
Yeah, and are you willing to be receptive to ideas and suggestions, and then self-realize and knowing that, hey, I'm not the God podcaster.
Yeah, these are the adjustments I need to make.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to get any better is to keep doing it.
Yeah. And if you need proof, go listen to the first episode of Pod Caviar and the first episode of 1 Gram Army, or previously the Sports with a Capital F podcast, and then you'll see.
Yep.
Graham and I have made strides this year, and from the beginning to currently when we're sitting in the room right now, and it's shown.
It's still a journey. I still don't feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
You're at 30 minutes, sir.
Oh, sweet.
I probably got to wrap this up anyway because it's starting to get into responsibilities time.
Oh, yeah, okay. But yeah, another great episode, another good commentary about movies. Next week, we are going to go and continue on with more movies. We still got to do The Irishman. We still have a lot of movies that we want to talk about, and just movies in general. Of course, the Caviar City movie is still being made. The script is coming along. It hasn't been forgotten. It hasn't been shelved. It's not in development hell again. It's just a lot of things going on in the background, and it's the holidays. So, just be patient. If you've made it to us, if you've made it this far along in the journey, then you ain't got nothing to worry about, because you already know we're going to take care of our people. We got Patreon, we got Shirt Caviar, we got Pod Caviar, we got Game Caviar, we got 1 Gram Army. I mean, it's so much outside of just two guys sitting in a room talking shit about whatever we want to talk about. It is a great thing to see us go from an idea to building the foundation to actually building an empire. And
that's right.
In 2020 and beyond, it's going to be crazy. Like, if you know, but
it's a journey, not a destination, motherfuckers.
Exactly.
That's right.
And it's a marathon, not a sprint. Listen, Graham and I podcasted today and made the world a better place. Thank you for listening. We are out.
Night.